It made its mark on Halo Reach. Now it returns on Halo 4. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm Hunter Unit 751 and we are back with Ninja Warrior of Halo. So far 80 challengers have tried, but only 5 have been good enough to complete Stage 1, including our 2 veterans Ice Spikeful and Duster Buster 2K. Today the final 20 will take on Stage 1, which means a return for the All-Stars. Drago is sick and the Grand Champion Re95, as well as all of the other top competitors and veterans looking to book their place in Stage 2. How many of them will succeed? There's only one way to find out. First up on the course today is a returning competitor, Snazosaurus Rex, who's been on the Halo Reach and Halo 4 course before. Last time out, he failed on the rolling ball, I believe, so he got past this first obstacle, the quintuple steps. 4 steps, 5 jumps, tricky first obstacle. 4th step, oh, he's fallen at the 4th step, unlucky. Next up is newcomer, Sludging Snipe. Let's see how he does, 90 seconds. And he overjumps the very first step, oh dear. Next up is the first of today's veterans, he is Smoky Massacre, doing an intro of what I'm told is supposed to be a crab. Interesting that he wants to be associated with a crab. Last time I checked, crabs were pretty slow creatures. Oh well, I'm not sure how that's going to help him in the 90-second time limit, but he's off. He's a veteran because he's reached Stage 2 once before, and he's showing his veteran skills on the quintuple steps. Shoots across it with ease. But no, he reached Stage 2 back in Tournament 6, a while ago now. Since then, he's failed on Stage 1, including on the Tarzan slide in the last tournament. Now he's moving on the rolling ball nicely. First time we've seen it today, and he's over. Now for the rising pillars. He's familiar with this obstacle from Halo Reach, but the Halo 4 version's slightly different. Ooh, slip. And another one. That could have been devastating for Smokey. But he survives, and now he's onto the jump hang. The first real test for the top competitors. Goes for it, hits the trampoline, flies through the air to the other side. Climbing up, 40 seconds left on the clock. That's alright at the moment, but the warped wall is coming up, and this can really kill a contestant's time. If you take too long, and he's losing time here. Second attempt, he's over. Now for the Tarzan slide. This is where he failed in the last tournament when he went too fast and missed the drop. He's got the drop this time, he's over the bump, and now he's heading on to the final steps. 16 seconds left on the clock. The klaxon will sound when he has less than 10. But slowly but surely, Smoky Massacre is making it to the top, and he finishes with 6 seconds left on the clock. Smoky Massacre has beaten Stage 1. Incredible stuff by Smoky. And he celebrates in style. Well, he may have been looking like a crab at the start line, but he was out of the gates like a bulldog. Although he had those near misses on the rising pillars and lost a little bit of time at the warped wall, he overcame both obstacles and the Tarzan slide to reach Stage 1's finish line and make his way into Stage 2. Next up is newcomer Devil's Sword. Let's see how he does. Will he fare just as well as Smokey did on the quintuple steps? Interesting, we already have had one newcomer beat Stage 1 earlier on in the competition, and another interesting fact, in the last 5 tournaments, we've had at least one newcomer who's making his first ever appearance beat Stage 1. As I say, we've already had one newcomer in this tournament, but will Devil's Swords be the second? Rolling on the rolling ball, oh, he slipped off the side, that's unlucky. Next up is a regular, the Atom Lad, who considers himself Ninja Warrior of Halo's equivalent to Mr. Octopus, because he rarely ever gets past the first obstacle, which is true to be honest. In all of his attempts, I think he's only ever once got past the first obstacle. So he's not that good, but he's doing well today. Could this be his second? Oh no, 4th step, he's gone. Oh dear. Next up is another veteran, Sideshow Freak, who has a very impressive record on this course. He's competed 7 times before, so one of the most experienced challengers, and I think he's beaten stage 1 4 times, including in the last tournament. So a good record. Will he make it 5 successes in 8 tournaments? It's onto the rolling ball. This has defeated him once before. Will it cause him any problems today? Shoots it to get it rolling. Moving nicely. And he is over it. And now we'll fast forward onto the warped wall, which he makes first time. Now for the Tarzan slide. He beat this obstacle in the last tournament with ease, and he's beaten it with ease in this tournament. He's got about the same time as Smokey did, 16 seconds, as he heads up the final steps, but he's moving 2 at a time, straight to the top. 10 seconds left on the clock. Well done to Sideshow Freak. He once again makes stage 1 look easy, as he overcame the rolling ball and all the other obstacles to once again have a showdown in stage 2. Next up is a trio of friends. First is Kyle12 YOLO. Let's see how he does. As he says, you only live once. Let's see if he can make that one life count. 90 seconds? No, he can't. He walked straight off the first step, made it, and then just walked off. Next up is the second of the group, Hairy Biker 71. Can he do better than Kyle? Yes, he can. By 1 step. Okay, which means we're already on to the leader of the trio, Alex Bagel 1998. Can he produce the best performance of the group? He's off. 90 seconds, first step. Nope, he does even worse than Hairy Biker. At that rate, these guys will probably beat the first obstacle by the time Halo 5 comes out, maybe? Anyway, next up is another veteran who could have a chance of beating stage 1. You know him as the Wally, that is ExtremeUKGaming, doing what he says is supposed to be this weird crouching movement where it looks like he's levitating, even though we can clearly see he's not, but let's let Dom think he is. Silly Dom. Anyway, he's a veteran because he's reached stage 3 once before. That was back in tournament 6. Since then, he's failed on stage 1 4 times in a row, which includes 3 timeouts at the warped wall. But he's off like the clappers on the quintuple steps, even has a little spin at the end. Onto the rolling ball. He's, of course, as you know, a fellow member of this channel, ExtremeUKGaming, uploads Let's Plays every so often. Needs to start uploading some more now that it's the summer. But he's over and now he's onto the rising pillars. Shoots across them as well, onto the second, onto the third, with ease. Throws in another little spin, jump hang. Oh, finally stops for breath. For only about a split second, goes for it, hits the trampoline, lands on the other side. Maybe he's trying to make up as much time as he possibly can for the warped wall, so that he can have many attempts as he likes on it. And here he is on the warped wall, his ultimate adversary. How will he do on it today? He makes it first time! Yes, Dom! Now for the Tarzan slide. He made up so much time in the first half of the course that he doesn't even need it now. He's got so much time left for the final steps. ExtremeUKGaming is gonna beat stage 1 for the second time in his Ninja Warrior of Halo career with 20. Nope. Okay, then he's gonna do some showboating instead. What a Wally. He could have had the fastest time so far. You're a Wally, Dom. Alright then, 11.4. Still a good time. Not the fastest, but you cannot take anything away from Dom. He has beaten stage 1 for the second time, after multiple fails at the warped wall, and for the first time on Halo 4. He shot through the first of 4 obstacles with ease, so that he had as much time as possible for the warped wall, and its time he didn't even need, as he managed to get up it first time. Brilliant work by Dom. We look forward to seeing him in stage 2. Now it's the turn of another veteran, Double Ump, who some have nicknamed the equivalent of Yamada on this course because of how long he's been doing these obstacle courses on Halo. He's now been doing these for over 5 years, which makes him the most experienced, established competitor to still compete on these tournaments, obstacle tournaments. But despite his experience in the last two tournaments, he's failed on stage 1, one of which came on this obstacle, the rolling ball. The other one was when he ran out of time, just inches from the finish line in the previous tournament. Now he's onto the rising pillars. He failed the Halo Reach version of this obstacle once before. How will he fare on the Halo 4 version? Nice. He's onto the jump hang. He'll be looking to get revenge today after 2 failures. Goes for it. Hits the trampoline. Flies through the air. Now he'll be looking for revenge, not just because of how experienced he is, but also because he's a veteran. He's reached stage 3 twice before. Now he's onto the warped wall. He's got 30 seconds left. Couldn't afford a mistake, and he doesn't make a mistake. Tarzan slide. In the last tournament, he did this obstacle under time pressure. Will he have the same time pressure today? Final steps. Oh, he's taking these 2 at a time, like a pro. That's absolutely brilliant. What was looking like a slow time has actually finished. Seen finish with the 2nd fastest time so far. Absolutely incredible. Well, he was looking like he was moving carefully through the first few obstacles, so he came to the Tarzan slide with just under 30 seconds left, and he then ended up shooting up the final steps to finish in style. Now, following those 2 successes, there was another one for the man formerly known as a med pack, now called Game Types. He showed that despite the name change, he still had the skills, as he reached the finish line with 8.2 seconds still on the clock. Very good work for him, but unfortunately the same couldn't be said for our next 3 challengers, who all ducked out on the first stage, bringing to an end our winning streak. And it means that we now only have a few contestants left to take on the course. Will any of them be able to join the others already through? Next up is a blast from the past. It's the man formerly known as Sniper761, now called Snowman761. He's a veteran back on the Halo Reach course because he reached stage 2 on 2 previous occasions. This is his first attempt at the Halo 4 course, and he admitted beforehand that he had very little practice on the Halo 4. So how will he do? Will his lack of experience and practice affect him? It's not affecting him on the quintuple steps though, he's over. One of the most memorable things about him was his flourishes that he liked to do. His most famous one was probably here on the rolling ball, when he shot the ball when it was on the track to stop it rolling, and then he jumped on it, completely removing the danger from the obstacle. Hasn't done anything fancy like that today. Onto the rising pillars. Being careful. Goes. Ooh, only just made it. He's taking this very cautiously, obviously not worried about the clock. Third jump, this is the trickiest of them all, and he's got it. Now for the jump hang. I don't think he's going to beat stage 1 now, even if he does go full speed, which he's not. Looks at it, goes for it, hits the trampoline. Oh, he's mishit it. Ooh, so close. Oh, that's unlucky. Next up is a man I'm told is the brother of Grand Champion Re95, Bryson 8. Let's see if the jumping skills run in the family. Nope, no they don't. Maybe Bryson should stick to watching his brother. We're into the final 3. Next up is the pro racer, Elite MKB. In the last tournament, he was one of only 2 people to reach the 3rd stage, finishing in 2nd place overall. Now he's back, which is why he's earned this high number. Now he's back, looking to see if he can get there again. Well, as usual, gets through the quintuple steps with ease onto the rolling ball. This has defeated him twice before, but he's much more experienced now. He's actually reached stage 3 3 times before, I believe, including in the last 2 tournaments. Rising pillars, goes into them nicely. Lands the 3rd one expertly, onto the jump hang. Goes for it, hits the trampoline, flies through the air, and lands on the other side with a little bit of lag, but it doesn't affect him. He's climbing to the top. Now for the warped wall. Now in the past, he's normally done well on the first half of the course, and then things start to go wrong in the second half, and he ends up having very little time left on the clock. Will that happen again today? He's onto the Tarzan slide. Shoots into it. The drop is done. The bump is overcome. Now he's onto the final steps, and it looks like for the first time ever we could be seeing a fast time. For the first time ever seeing him finish with more than 10 seconds left on the clock. He's at the top. He stops for some showboating, and he's made it with 10.7 seconds to spare. It is, for the first time ever, a time of over 10 seconds for ExtremeUKG, and he got shot for some reason. But that's not taking anything away from him. Well done to him. His best performance on stage 1 to date. Will that provide him with extra confidence as he heads into stage 2? Now it's the turn of All-Star. Drago is sick. In the last tournament, he was the other person that reached stage 3, and he finished in first place. So high expectations for him today. Shoots into the quintuple steps. Ooh, only just made that 4th step, but he recovered nicely. So yes, he finished in first place in the last tournament. He'll be looking to get back to stage 3 and hopefully get beyond the pillar path that took him out in the last tournament. Rolling ball, he once again makes it look easy. He's probably the most relaxed of anyone on this course. Always likes to make the course look easy with his cool, controlled performances. He's onto the jump hang. Goes for it. Doesn't stop, just like Elite. Hits the trampoline and lands on the other side. Climbing to the top. Even the climb has to be taken carefully, but he's over it. Now for the warped wall. Doesn't stop for breath again. Shoots up it first time. Now for the Tarzan slide. He looks like he could be on for the fastest time here if he keeps going on at this speed. Just under 30 seconds. Drago's climbing to the top. Oops, slip. He's still on for the fastest time. He's going at the steps 2 a time. And it is the fastest time. Just under 18 seconds. Best performance of the day so far from Drago, as he once again made all of the obstacles look pathetic compared to him, and especially with his runs on the jump hang and the warped wall, and he finishes with the fastest time so far. Which brings us on to our final challenger, Mr. 100. He is the Grand Champion, Re95, having achieved the success back in Tournament 4 on Halo Reach. Okay, how will he do today? All-Star as well, of course, just like Drago. 90 seconds have started. Looking good so far. Despite him being the Grand Champion, he suffered a shock exit in Stage 1 in the last tournament when he ran out of time just seconds from the finish line. So he's back with a sturdy determination for revenge this time round. Onto the rising pillars. Takes a casual walk onto the first rock. Second rock. What about the third one? Made that one as well. Now for the jump hang. Lots of expectations always for Ree, as he's been the most successful competitor ever on the course. Climbs to the top. Now he'll be heading onto the warped wall. In the past, this has caused him real problems and forced him to lose too much time. But he makes it first time this time round. He's got about the same time as Drago did. Oh, but he's hit the bump on the first platform. He's not gone fast enough. He's had to back up to get up the speed. He's over it now. Second drop. Second bump, I should say. He's only just got over that one as well. The bumps rarely cause problems for our contestants, but they almost caused a double catastrophe for Ree there. Nevertheless, he is going to make it and finish with 9.4 seconds still on the clock. The Grand Champion is through, and he brings to an end what has been an incredible Stage 1 in which a record 13 people beat it, including the 8 that finished today, with Smokey Massacre getting us off to winning ways, followed by the veterans, Sideshow Freak and iGametypes. The established star, Double Ump, made a comeback as he finished with one of the top times of the day. Whilst the pro racer ExtremeUKG also got home with a creditable time for once. All-Star Drago is sick once again made Stage 1 look easy as he finished with the fastest time, whilst Grand Champion Re95 took revenge on Stage 1. But the sweetest victory goes to ExtremeUKG as this fellow member of ExtremeUKGaming who'd suffered 4 consecutive Stage 1 fails and 3 timeouts on the warped wall coming into this tournament, got over his nemesis on the first try and was able to finish with some showboating at the end. That's an incredible lineup awaiting us in Stage 2, but the question is, how many of them will be good enough to advance to the 3rd stage and beyond? You'll have to stay with us to find out, because now we have the very important matter of Tournament 12, which I can now tell you will be starting on Sunday the 30th of June and will be continuing every night that I'm online until we've had 100 Stage 1 runs. So if you want to make sure you've got a spot and compete as early as possible. Times are on the screen there. I'm UK time, so that's 7 to 10 PM for me. Hopefully they associate to where you guys live. The new Stage 1 is available to download and practice on my file share. If you're not on my friends list but want to compete, send me a friend request and you should be able to join. I think that's everything, guys. If I've missed anything out, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Join us again next time for Stage 2. Until then, guys, I've been Hunter Unit 751. Goodbye!